Hello, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining early. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Ifoma. Thank you, Deborah. Ojochi Nemi. Thank you, Kudu. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining and for joining early. How are you? How was your day? How's your Sunday? Hope it's has been going well so far. Let me see the chats. Okay, sorry, need to go to my. Okay, sorry, I need to. Okay, I think I've done that. So thank you, Ifoma. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so I'll be starting early so that we can be done on time. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so here it's about raining here where I live, and so it's about raining here where I live. Let's see. How far has this thing gone? Let's see. Let me stop sharing my screen and try to adjust it. Thank you. Please let's introduce ourselves and where we're joining from in the chat so that we can start um, engaging with one another. Hi, God's favor.
Hi, good evening. Hello.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you, ma'am. How are
Thank you
you
for
too?
joining. I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for joining and thank you for joining early. Okay. Okay, I guess everyone can see my screen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let me see the chat. I think some people have started introducing themselves, hopefully. I'm Olivia joining from the UK. Thank you. Ifoma from Lagos. Joy from Abuja. Nchendo, I think. Hope I pronounced it well.
It's Uchedo.
Huh? You said?
Uchedo.
Uchedo. Okay. Uchedo from Lagos. Thank you. Uchedo. Wow. Joy from Kefi. Okay. Joy is not in a conducive environment. Ojochimeni from Kogi State. Do you know that my best friend's name is Ojochidi? So, anyway. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming and thank you for being here now. So I'll just go ahead. I think I've asked everybody how we're doing, how our Sunday has been. For me, my Sunday was good. Okay, we have God's favor from Ogun. Yes, so I'm telling you, if you read my book, The Rewards of Consistency, you'll see where I wrote about how we met and how we became friends. Deborah from South Africa. Yes, and I just want to applaud Deborah. Deborah always joins very early. Deborah joined, I think, 10 minutes ahead of time. And I was just here, but I saw that she was already online 10 minutes ahead of time. And I'm so grateful. Thank you for taking this so seriously. I'm so grateful. And I just want to tell everybody that joins, like, if at any point you need to talk to me and all that, please just send an email and I'll give you my number so that you can call, or if you have anything that you need to discuss, you can do that. Because I was going through the recommendation form and recommendation and testimonial form. I've forgotten who the person was, but the person was saying, can I get your permission to maybe call, reach out to you or something like that? Of course, like if you want to talk to me, because there are some people that have reached out via email that they have this issue, maybe an IP issue or a contract issue or just life issue in general, and then they reach out, then I respond to my phone number and and then we talk. So please let us be able to communicate, because that's what the mentorship is really about after all the long talk from my end. So with that, I will be going straight into the conversation. So our topic for today is financial intelligence, stability, and wealth building for women. How many of us plan to be very wealthy, like very, very wealthy here? If it's your plan, please put it in the chat. Like you're not afraid, like to be extremely wealthy, and that's your plan. Please put it in the chat. Like I am, I am ready to be wealthy. Like I want to be very wealthy. You know, there are some times. Yes, so yes, so yes, so there are some times that I talk to my husband and I tell him things like I want to be very wealthy, and then I tell him that in my old age, not even old age, like from my 50s, 60s, like that presidents. So from like 40s and all, countries will be calling me. They will be sending private jets to take me around the world to talk to presidents, different people that are, very wealthy, and I'll be giving advice and all. And then from my 50s, 60s, I would have a very massive estate and all that. Even a private jet can land inside that place. And then presidents will be coming, governors will be coming, diplomats will be coming, business billionaires will be coming, and they'll be coming for my advice in my estate. Oh, like that's how wealthy I'm going to be. And I used to tell my husband that that's how wealthy I'm going to be. And then I'll tell him, tell me your own. He will say, Shebi, you've already said your own now and all. But it's just so funny. Thing is that we have our minds and we can dream. Anything you want to dream is in your mind. Like you can say what you want the way you want it. And by God's grace, it can come to pass. So like I am just advocating for the fact that everybody here can dream. Hey, yes. Very vivid dreams and it feels good. Yes. Like just think about what you want, say it and keep believing it. I remember when I first started my role in like my organization. So while I was there, I had just worked for like 3 months or something like that. And after a while, I started saying, I want to work in the Geneva office. I want to work in the Geneva office. It did not seem possible. Like people used to be like, oh, it's not possible. They don't take Nigerians, blah, blah, blah. But you will not believe, like I had not worked for up to 1 year and I had offers from the Geneva office. So that just shows you like the law of attraction. When you say this is something I want and you start talking about it, you start working towards it, you'll be surprised. Before you know, doors will just start opening, opportunities will start coming up. Let me pronounce this name properly. If I don't pronounce it, you can unmute and pronounce it for me properly. Uchendo. Uchendo. She said, oh my God, that is my dream, to be called from around the world. And God gave me this Bible verse, Isaiah 55, verse 5. Surely I will summon nations. I would summon nations that know you not, I think, and nations that do not know me will come running to me. Yes, as in sincerely. So it's really good to see that we have people that are thinking big and all. And I was listening to something and somebody was talking about women being ambitious. And I was saying, so I was just thinking to myself, like, there is nothing wrong or sinful or bad to be ambitious. As long as you are like going through like the path in the right way and all, there is nothing wrong about being ambitious or dreaming and all that. And just to say that for me, like I came from a home where things were going well, I was doing well and all that. My parents were doing well until my dad died. And after he died, I remember that things became so bad, and it was even hard to dream. It was hard to have any kind of vision considering the way things went and things were so bad. But that's that thing about dreaming and seeing like yourself better in a better place is what I've always continued to hold on to and to push on. And I'll tell you that I'm not where I want to be, but definitely I'm definitely in a better place. And I believe that as we continue to dream and as we continue to believe the best for ourselves, by God's grace, we would get to beautiful places in life that we'll be so happy that we allowed ourselves to dream. So the session, as always, is going to be for 2 hours. We'll have our welcome and ice-breaking activities, which I believe we've already done, and we'll just go ahead to take our pictures. So if you don't mind, please put your video on so that we can take our pictures. However, if you do not want to appear in the video, you say, me, Lai, I don't want my face to be in this video, please don't put your camera on, because it is your responsibility to ensure that you guard your privacy. So if you do not want to appear, please put your video off. If you want to appear, please put your video on. I would love to take a screenshot. Please take a screenshot on your end also. So I'll just give people a minute in case you've not done your makeup or you are not ready for the picture. 3 fine faces. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to take the screenshot from my end. Let's see. And then you can take from your end also. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for obliging and putting your videos on. We'll be heading straight to continue with the session now. Yes, so it's for women of all ages. And so I believe that here we have older women, we have younger women, and we're here to interact, get to know ourselves better. And the mentorship will be focused on my experience. So I don't claim to be like a guru in this particular topic, but I will just give you my own story, my experience, and hopefully you can get something from it. So my goal is to guide women into becoming skilled, confident, and impactful wherever they find themselves. And as you know, this is like for 12 months. We have it once in a month for 2 hours. And I remember when people were filling the form, I was asking reasons why you want to be part of this and all that. And it was deliberate so that you would think about why you want to be here and all. And if you listen to the January session where I explained like how to become skilled, confident, and impactful, please, is in the January session. So if you want to know about it, just go to the YouTube channel, Juliana Imam, and you can type January session, mentorship, and all, and you see that. This is my profile, which you already know. I hope that we've been reading the books. It's intentional when I send the emails and I put like the books, I put the accountability documents. The books are for you to read so that you know me, because I share my stories in it, and then in both of the books. And then I think in recognizing wake up calls, I even share up to maybe 13 to 14 stories, personal stories of things that happened to me and was a wake up call for me. So just in case you've been allowing things slide and you need that motivation or like that ginger, like they'll say in Nigeria, that would be a good book for you to read, even if it's just the chapter one. I think chapter one, because it captures my story. And then Rewards of Consistency is my first book. And I really pour my heart into it. And I just talk about my journey and how everything paid off. So there will be certificates at the end, like I said, for those who fill the testimonial documents or forms. And we'll be having a physical meeting in October. If you want to be part of it, there's always an email for you. There's a link for you to fill, and it will be closed in September. So if you don't fill the form up till September and it's closed, then that means you don't want to see me physically. You are okay with my face online. And if it's okay for you, it's okay for me. We've already taken our pictures for today, so we're going to move ahead. So understanding financial intelligence. Financial intelligence is the ability to understand, manage, and make wise decisions about money in a way that supports stability, growth, and peace of mind. I remember that there was a time that I was not sure whether my contract was going to be renewed. And I remember just getting to one point where I was so afraid and I was almost crying. I was like, oh my God, what is going to happen with my family? How are we going to continue? What is going to happen to us, my children? I was so scared. And the truth is that there are many people who may find themselves in that place where you just get money, you eat it, you get money, you eat it, you get money, you eat it, and then something happens, there's an emergency, and there is so much fear because you don't even know where to start from. And so that's the reason why having financial intelligence is good, because by the time the money is coming, I remember there was a time that I went to meet like a mentor, and I told the mentor, okay, this is like my financial inflow, and this is what I think, and blah blah blah. And he just told me, he said, see, while you have this money coming in, make sure you are financially intelligent and you save. Because even if you look at for some people who may be Christians, when you see in the parable about the 7 good years and the 7 scarce years, there are sometimes for some people you might hear stories about people that when we're growing up, that my uncle was a rich uncle, like he was the one who was traveling, he was the one, and then you get to a point and it's like he was never rich. So it's like there was a time when there was surplus, and then because that money was not managed properly, the person now got to a place of lack, like serious lack. And it was not like, was it not that uncle that was rich before? Why is the uncle now poor? I remember there was a video that I shot with my husband because we usually do podcasts. So in that video, the title of the video was compassion fatigue, I think. And it was just about people who are obsessed with giving and being there for so many people. And at some point, they now get to a point where they don't have again. And those people that they were giving to were like nowhere to be found. Like, how many of us in this room had parents who were givers, in the sense that family members would come to your house, they would sleep in your house and all that, but something happened and you did not see anybody again? If you had that experience, please just put it in the chat. Just put, I had that experience. Because for me, we had that experience where when my dad was alive, we would have family members, friends, they would come and have town meeting in my house. My mom would cook soup, different types of soup. They'll be dancing, they'll just be behaving like my dad was the kindest person in the world, and then he will be giving them money for this, money for that. And you will not believe, like by the time my dad died, it was like we were orphans. Like there was nobody. There was even a particular person that I think I sent him like a text message or something. In the text, like I wrote like my father's name in the text, like daughter of this person, because he used to be like very, very close to my dad, like almost like a best friend. So I put like my like dad's name in the text and I sent it to him. I'm telling you, he could not, I don't even know, but the response was not nice. So another time I went to a meeting where he was. I walked up to this man, I introduced myself, I called my father's name, and he just looked at me confused, and it was like he walked away. And I'm like, no, this man used to be in my house. He would eat food in my house. He used to dance in my house, I remember. And it was like he was shocked. You understand? So I just believe that even in that place where we have so much, we must have that intelligence to save. Kudu says, sorry, Joy says, like my mom cooked minute by minute until I lost my dad and there was no one again, like a hair, much relatable. So those kind of things, they happen. There was a particular man I remember, that man had like a resort. And in that resort, people used to come to his resort for I don't know if it's called like retreats, fellowships, and all those things like that. And most times they would not pay; they'll just be like, is it not God I want to do retreats with? Please, can you give it for me free and all that?" And he was doing that for a while, and you will not believe. One day, then I was still schooling in University of Abuja. And I was about to enter the bus to go home, and I saw this man, somebody that was so wealthy that had a resort. I saw him inside a bus, like a bus where students were entering. I was so shocked. So I walked up to him. I was like, sir, like, good afternoon, sir. Like, are you? And he just told me something. He said, people will suck you dry until there's nothing, and then everybody will go. So apparently it was like he lost the place, and he lost the place because he didn't have that business understanding, and he was giving it out for free and all that. And at the end, when he lost the place, everybody moved on to the next place. So we must be wise, and that's why having financial intelligence is good, not just for us, but even for our children, and especially as women, being married to your husband or having children at some point, it's important that you have that financial intelligence so that whatever happens, at least you'll be able to help your children. I think I've spoken enough about this. I will move to the next slide. Understanding the difference between income, wealth, and financial freedom. So, income is the money you earn from work, business, investment, and other sources. It helps you meet your daily needs and responsibilities. You know that there's people that will be like, me, I'm not a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. But the thing is, at the end of the year, if you go to your bank and you ask your bank to and you ask your bank to give you your bank statement, if you add everything that came into your account, you'll be surprised that actually you are a millionaire or millions pass through your account, but because you were not meticulous in how you spent it, you lost it. Wealth is the value of what you own after subtracting debts. It includes your savings, your investment, your properties, and the assets that grow over time. So assuming you put your money into something like an investment, maybe treasury bill, I think treasury bill or something like that. Let's say you put your money there, and then you are like keeping it for like a year or something like that, and then it's compounding, compounding, compounding. In the next 10 years, 20 years, you will see that you have so much money. Even if you buy lands, you see that you have so much money. Do you know that talking to some older people that have retired, I used to wonder, like, how are people that are retired taking care of themselves and all that? And there was a man I was talking to, and while I was talking to him, sorry, there's something in the chat, let me check. Treasury bill, thank you. There was a man I was talking to, and he is just retired. Most times, sure, when you see some old people that have money and they don't really have what they're doing sometimes, they can just be going out, just gisting with people around, and you'll be wondering, like, how are these people coping? How are these people making money? How are these people doing this? But you'll be surprised. He now told me that what he does, sorry, I will soon call you soon, Rumesa. Please, I'll call you soon. So, he now told me that what he does is he has like hundreds of millions, right, in the bank, and he did this treasury bill stuff or this fixed stuff, and he does it every year. So what he does is, for example, if he has like 200 million and he has it, and it's 16%, somebody should do the multiplication of 200 million, 16% of 200 million. Somebody should help me do the math and just put it in the chat. 16% of 200 million. So what he did was, while he was working and he had strength, right, he was able to gather something around that amount. So when he now got it, he put it in this treasury bill and all, and then he put it. When he put it every year, what he does not do anything except he just wants to go out, visit children, all those things. Then at the end, that's when he's renewing it and all, that one plus the interest has, so we don't have any mathematician in this place. Okay, let me see. Let me see. 32 million. 32 million. So this is exactly what he does. Once he does that renewal, that's, for example, now he now gets that 32 million. He may decide to maybe invest half back into it. The remaining half of that 32 million, uh, that will be like 15.5 or something like that. He can now give some to his wife. This is the money for the year. Just use and buy foodstuffs, do whatever he wants to do. He can go change his car or something like that. And then you'll be seeing him walking around, causing trouble everywhere, just making noise. But the thing is, his money is working for him. Now, the thing is, I used to think about it. If some of us are used to pray, I must live for 120 years, 120 years. I was promised to live for 120 years. Let's assume you live for 120 years and you stop working at 60, 65. Let's assume 60. Maybe you work in the civil service and you retire at 60. From 60 to 120 years that you are planning that you have been disturbing God for, that I must live for 120 years. That is my promise. So that is my promise. So 120 years. At that 100, what will you be using to eat from 60 to 120 years? Me, I used to think about these things. So I don't know. Do you people think about it? Let me see in the chat. While I'm waiting for your comment in the chat, um, Rumeisa, please, you can go ahead and ask a question. Your video was on, Rumeisa, and you wanted to talk and you were smiling. Are you still there? Are you muted? Can you unmute? Please let me know if you can unmute. I think you can unmute. Please unmute, Rumeisa. I think you should be able to unmute. Please, can someone help me confirm if you can unmute from your end? I think so.
Yes. Yes,
Yes.
ma.
Okay. Hey, thank you very much, Deborah. Okay. Okay, so I'll come back to you, Rumesa. When you're able to unmute, please let me know because your hand is up, so that's why I called you. Okay, so financial freedom is having enough resources and stability to live comfortably, make choices freely, and not constantly depend on monthly income. Yes, so I was listening to, I think, Myron Golden. If you have time, just listen to some of his videos, and he was saying something like that he doesn't spend his money whenever he wants to do something like a major thing. He just brings up another product, and then when people buy it, he would then use that to buy whatever he wants to buy. Okay, so Jochi Meni says, I have never thought about what I will use to eat, but I just used to think I will have enough and living young mama lifestyle. You need to start thinking about it too. I'm serious because me, I used to think about it like if I retire, assuming I have like a regular job and all, and I retire at 60, what would I use to eat from 60 years when I'm 60 years old until when I'm 120? I don't want to be stressing. I don't want to not be stressing my children, calling my children, hey, mommy is here. Oh, don't forget your mommy. Oh, your mommy gave birth to you. Oh, remember my womb carried you. I don't want all those drama. I want to have my money. And so I've been thinking about it and thinking of how I can plan towards my retirement and what I'll be using to eat after retirement and have my money and everything after retirement. If my children, definitely I will train my children well so they would know that they should give and they should honor me. But I'm not going to now be thinking and depending on children or and all that. So please let us consciously think about retirement. After retirement, from 60 to 120 years that we pray for. After that, what next? So I'm going to go to the next slide. Develop a healthy mindset and relationship with money. Healthy mindset, thinking about money with wisdom, balance, and confidence instead of fear, guilt, or pressure. It involves making informed and intentional financial decisions. The truth is that some people can be under pressure when it comes to money, especially when there's an emergency. So people can be so pressured. Like I said in the story, and I told you that when I was not sure whether my contract was going to be renewed or not, I remember at some point I was panicking. I was like, what will I do if I don't get this? How would I be able to survive if I do, as in, if I don't continue this role, how would I be able to survive? And also sometimes people work from that place of pressure. And even when you have a business, you start saying, oh, okay, can I bring my price down or something? You're begging people and all that because of that pressure. But you notice that if you already know what you want to do and all that, and you are sure of your business, sometimes somebody will just reach out to you, be like, no, I'm not ready to do business with you. Maybe your values are not in alignment with mine and all that. So it's important that we have like a healthy mindset. And even if we've lost money or we've used money in a way that is not right, we can forgive ourselves and continue and grow and do better. So relationship with money, your habits, emotions, and beliefs about earning, spending, savings, and giving. You need to have the right mindset. I remember that my husband used to share a story about somebody that was in his university, and he said that that guy that was in his university, every morning, the guy will wake up, the guy would start walking on the balcony of the university hostel, and he will be shouting, he will be saying, money comes to me now, money comes to me now. To kule, ungragoma, money comes to me now. And he will be pronoun and he will just be making those decrees like wherever you are, money comes to me now. And and he was saying that he has not been able to get the guy now, but that he's sure that the guy will be wealthy because every morning the guy will be commanding money to come to him. So that is just like an example of somebody that may look like he took it extreme, but I'm telling you. So Rumesa, okay, she said, I have never thought of that because I am dreaming for a long life. I will always pray to leave the world before I will become a liability to my family. Majority of people above 80 years become liabilities to their family due to some illnesses. That's true, actually. That's true. But you'll be surprised that some people that have a lot of money, they have checkups, they have people that let us just have this money, Sha. So let me go to the next, let me go to the next slide. Identify financial habits that help or hinder growth. So helpful financial habits, consistent saving. You know that there's some people that are very meticulous and they're like, okay, for every amount that comes, for example, I would pay my tithes 10%, I will save 20%, I will keep this. They are very meticulous with that. For me, I do not have those exact percentages, but what I do is I live below my means in the sense that whatever I get, I I most likely don't take up to half. If I should get any money, I will not withdraw up to half. I will withdraw less than half. With that less than half, that's what I will spend. My tithe will come from that less than half, and I will spend from that less than half. You understand? So every other thing will be there. That's how I just live my life. The only time where I would collect more than half is if maybe there is an emergency or there's something that I need to do. So for me, that's how I do it. But for some people, they have percentages like percentage for this, percentage for saving, percentage for this. So if you're like that, I think that's even better. So consistent saving, budgeting, wise spending. Okay, so there was somebody that I knew, and she was like from a wealthy home, and then her weakness used to be she was like a shopaholic. So she would always want to, like, if like she sees mannequins, it would be like the mannequins are calling her, like she has to buy what's on the mannequin. Is it mannequin they call it, or mannequin? Sorry. She would always have to buy what is on it. So if it's a mannequin that has wristwatch, she will buy the wristwatch. If it's the one that has clothes, she will buy it. If it's the one that had, like, she had that, she just had that thing. So for some people, that is just like their weakness, like they have to spend. So consistent saving, budgeting, wise spending, investing, planning ahead, and tracking expenses. So like I said, like it would be a good practice at the end of the year to even just go and tell your bank to give you your expense sheet so that you know what you spent that year. So these habits support stability, they reduce financial stress, and they encourage long-term growth. Harmful financial habit, impulse spending. If you are an impulsive spender here, please just put in the chat, I am an impulsive spender, but I want to change. But I am working on changing or improvement. Impulsive spending, poor planning, whichever one here addresses your own, please just put it. Impulsive spending, poor planning, unnecessary debts, ignoring savings, and living beyond my means. So just look at this, and whichever speaks to you, please type it. These habits can delay progress, create instability, and make it difficult to build sustainable wealth and financial security. So, impulse spending, for me, my impulse spending does not usually pass food. My impulse spending is mostly yogurt, or I'll go and buy rice or something. That is my impulse spending. So my impulse spending is mostly food. and I'm trying to work on it. Poor planning. Poor planning for me, when it comes to poor planning, it's in that place of always giving. So sometimes when I withdraw my money like this, I start sharing, like I give this, I give this, I give that. And sometimes growing up, then I will save. After saving, I will carry that savings and dash it. What I mean by dash, in case that people here that are not Nigerians, what I mean by dash is I will save money and then I will give it away. So I don't know why I used to do like that, but I will save and then I'll give it away. Then I'll start saving afresh and then I'll give it away. But I remember that I think it was in year 2021. I told myself, I said, if I save this time, I will use it to buy something. I will buy something that I know that I use the money not just to go and buy hair or buy, no, to buy something that is an that is an investment, that is an asset. So that was when I changed from that saving to dash to give it out. Unnecessary debt. Some people they use loan apps a lot. They can go and take loan to buy hair, ignoring savings and then living beyond means. So let's see. I'm going to be reading the chat now. Let me see if I can scroll. No, I can't scroll. Okay. So let me scroll. Let me read what. Okay. Okay. Uh, should I call? Okay. So Rumesa says impulsive spender. Uchendo says impulsive spender and I want to change. Yes. Ifoma, impulsive spender, but I have control most times. Nice. Impulsive buying and ignoring savings. Okay, that's Joy. My impulsive spending is also food. Nice, Uchendo. Okay. Not nice, oh, God help us. Then eBay says poor planning, saving most times for family members. I'm telling you. Okay. Thank you for putting it in the chat. So I'm going to move to the next slide. Emotional spending and how to manage financial triggers. Emotional spending, buying things based on feeling such as stress, sadness, excitement, pressure, comparison, instead of actual needs. It often leads to regret, waste, and financial imbalance. So let's see from this particular one, write which one is your own. When you spend emotionally, is it because you're stressed? Is it because you're sad? Is it because you're excited? Is it because you feel pressured or that you're comparing yourself? So for me, I remember that there was a particular time that something happened to me in the university, and I felt so sad. Like I felt so sad, and you will not believe what I went to go and do. I went to go and buy chocolate. Me that don't even like eating chocolate. Oh, I went to buy chocolate, and I was eating this chocolate like this. I just felt so sad. Sorry. So for some people, like when you're very happy, you spend. When you're very sad, there was somebody that told me that her relative was very sad. And guess what he did when he was very sad? He went and bought a car. He took their savings and went to buy a car because he was sad. Hey, hey. Like you are doing joint savings with your people. The person that takes your savings and go and buy a car. Why did you go and buy a car? Because I'm sad. So let's see in the chat which one is your own. When you spend emotionally, what do you spend on? Or what's your reason for spending emotionally? This is Ifoma, when I am stressed, I impulse spend on food. That's let me Susan says mine is excitement. Let me tell you something. I and my husband went for a visa interview one time. When they denied us the visa, guess what me and my husband went to do? We just drove straight to a restaurant. We told them be bringing the food. We bought rice, we bought plantain, we bought beans, even beans. So we bought beans, we bought different types of food. We said bring drinks. We sat down there. We ate and ate, and we were laughing at ourselves like we were so sad that we were now eating. Oh my God, life is so funny. So Joy says that it's food, though, it's food, snacks, store. Some of us are like that. So managing financial triggers, learning to recognize situations. It's very good to know what triggers you. Like what are the things that trigger me before I start spending? maybe somebody compared you to somebody, or you went for a meeting. Like I was talking to somebody yesterday, and he said that he had like a high maritime interview. And when he went, not a maritime interview, like lawyers going for like a maritime retreat, and that when he went for this retreat, like he wore a shoe that was so bad, and that one of his colleagues was like, what type of shoe is this? Like he felt so embarrassed. Like some of us, like embarrassment makes us spend, comparison makes us spend. So recognize your triggers, emotions, or influences, things that influence you and affect your spending decisions. So how can you solve this? By creating budgets, practicing self-control, avoiding pressure, and pause before you purchase. That can help you to have financial habits. So before I move to the next slide, let me see what's in the chat. When I'm excited, I dash or buy anything for who requests for it. I'm telling you, I do that too, especially like with children anyway. Like when I see children, maybe like when I ask my nephews and nieces to come, once I just say, okay, oh, dance time, everybody starts dancing and I'm excited. Before you know, I start dashing money. Money I did not plan to dash. So Ochi Nemi says, my emotional spending should be buying what's stressing me out. Like I gave a tailor a work and I did not like the outcome. Most times I'm unable to tell the person, but then when I'm too stressed on that, I find another tailor and pay for the same thing. Same thing with every other thing. I spend on that particular thing on a higher price and from a different person, and most times I end up not using any of them. Yes, I totally see your point. Thank you for sharing. It happens to many of us, many of us. Okay, next slide. The importance of financial literacy for women at every stage. Financial literacy, I don't know if it was defined, but it's the knowledge and skills needed to understand earning, savings, budgeting, investing, managing money wisely. So, why is it important for women? Financial literacy helps women make informed decision. Now, this informed decision will not only help you, it will help your family, it will help your children. Because some people are stranded, maybe something happened. For example, like my mom and my dad were working, but my dad was making more money. My mom was a teacher. By the time my dad died, like it was so tough for us. So it's important for women to also have money. There was a story of a woman that I think it was Jack Ma that shared, and he said that the woman was always asking her husband for money, asking her husband for money. I don't know if it was $1 that she needed or something, but like an amount that was really low. And then the husband asked her, what for? What do you need $1 for? She said that was a day that was a wake-up call for her. Like she was like, how would I ask for such a little amount? And he would ask me what for. And that was how she told herself, I will never be poor again. And she became very wealthy afterwards. So when a woman chooses to be wealthy, you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your dignity, you're doing it for your children, you're doing it for those that are connected to you. So financial literacy helps women to make informed decisions, prepare for responsibilities, handle life transitions confidently, avoid financial dependence, and build stability at every stage of life, whether as a student, a professional, as a wife, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, or as a retiree. Let's remember that one day we will be old. So everything that we need to plan for now, we must plan for it. You know, there are many people that just hope, don't worry, my future is secure, my future is secure. You have to also plan so that you can secure that future. So setting realistic financial goals and priorities. Financial goals, clear plans for what you want to achieve with your money. What do I want to achieve with this money? Do I want to save? Do I want to invest? Am I owing somebody, or am I owing a loan app that is now sending text message and a WhatsApp message to all my contacts? Do I want to pay this debt? Do I want to start a business? So you have a clear reason for why you want to make that money. It will even propel you to even be more ambitious in what you want to do. Realistic goals should match your income, responsibilities, and current season in life. So I remember uh, for a long time, I used to just be like, oh, I want to be wealthy. Oh, then I'll just write, this year I want to make 1 billion. This year I want to make 3 billion. I'll just be writing, I'll just call any amount, I'll just call it like that. And I don't have any plan. I used to feel like a miracle will happen. That was my thought. I used to just think that a miracle will happen that will just make me wealthy. And sometimes I'll just be daydreaming. I'll be like, what if one day I'm just sitting down? Somebody just send me a text message. They just say, then I just pick up my phone, I just see Juliana, I was just thinking, I just thought about you, collect this 1 billion, I'll just become a billionaire. So some of us, that's how we think, but we have to have realistic goals. You can say, okay, last year I made this amount. This year I want to double it. Last year I was an associate in my organization and I was making this amount. This year I want to become a senior associate and make this amount. Or I'm making this amount now. I want to make a book, become a public speaker, do this and that, so that I can make additional income. That income, I won't be spending it, I will be saving it. So you see that these are realistic things that we are talking about, and we are thinking of how we want to make the money, not just I believe it will come. We have to think realistically. So financial priorities, deciding what matters most financially, and focusing resources wisely. Prioritizing helps prevent overspending, improve discipline, and support long-term financial growth. Do you know that there are many times that I would withdraw that money, and before you know, I would give out, and then I would just be in a, like, I will not have cash again to spend, and I'll now have to go back to the bank to withdraw. And I'm like, did anybody force me to spend the way I spent? No, but I was under pressure to just spend and spend, and I did not really think and count the cost before spending. Some of us, once we go somewhere and they're singing our praise, we just want to start spraying money. I remember growing up, I knew that my dad had money, but I remember going for a wedding with my dad, and it was a wedding for his relative. And I think he had already given to the relative before the wedding. So when he went for the wedding, it was now dance time. People were spraying money. And my father just sat down. He did not go to spray money. And I remember as a child, not as a child, I think I was already in secondary school because it was the year he died. So I think it was, then I was already 14 years. And I was thinking in my heart, like, why did my father not go and spray? Why didn't he spray? And I was even shy. I was like, why didn't my father go and spray money? Why didn't he go and spray? Why didn't he go and spray? Some of us, how many, like, I don't know, like, some of us, we just feel that because we're in a place and people are spraying. So for people that don't know spraying of money, in Nigeria, there are, when you go for weddings, for example, when it's dancing time, people would start dancing and people would start spraying money like that. So I felt that my father should also spray. But my father just sat down, he did not spray money. It's now thinking about it that I now understand that if people are supposed to get married and you've already contributed to the wedding, when you go for the wedding, why do you have to spray again? Most times it's just because people are spraying and you also want people to see that you're spraying. But the thing is, you've already sent them money before that time. So sometimes we just go under unnecessary pressure that nobody would even think about. So Rumesa says, has still dreaming to still dreaming because a billion still dreaming to become a billionaire, I think, but not working on it. But your story makes me wake up. Thank you. So please, oh, dreaming is not enough. We have to also put in the work. All right. I will go to the next slide. Thank you for putting your thoughts in the comments. I like this interaction. So understanding personal values and how have I said this? I think, okay, let's see. Understanding personal values and how they influence spending decisions. So personal values, first of all, you have to know the things that are important to you and the things you want to spend on. It's not everything that you spend on. For example, there are many people, there are many clubs that reach out to me, like they send me emails. Hello, Mrs. Juliana, how are you doing? For our club, we want to do this program in our club. Can you contribute? This club will send me contribute. This club will send me contribute. This club will say be my patron, contribute, contribute, contribute. And I'm thinking, okay, if I contribute for all these clubs, like how is it going to be for me? But when you understand your personal values and your beliefs, what are your beliefs? What are your principles? What are the things that matter most to you? For example, family, growth, faith, education, security. Or so do we have a list of things, maybe written or not written, but things that are important to us? Those are the things that we will now spend on. For example, it has always been my dream to help, to like assist my mom and support her because, like I said, like we lost my dad in 2014, I think, or no, not what's 2014, no, 2004. And my mother was a teacher. She took care of all of us, 6 children, and all that. And for me, it has always been like my dream to like be in a place where I can assist her and help her and all that. So I start. That was part of what the things I used to pray. I'm like, God, please bless me. I want to be a blessing to my mother. And now what I try to do is I try to, you know, give her things, bless her. And my mother has a wide mouth. Like she smiles very wide. Like me, I have my dad's mouth. Like it's a small mouth, but if I smile, it's wide. But my mom has a wider mouth, and when she smiles, it's very wide. So when you do something that is good to her, like you see, if anybody is if anybody here has my phone number, if you see my DP right now, no, sorry, not my DP, but like my status, it is my mom that's on my status. So I like sent her so I usually tell like somebody to make her hair every month, and then I try to like give her like because me, food is important to me. So I try to get people to like give her food, like in the sense that they may just go and buy like a good dish, maybe twice a week or something, and give to her because I know that she would like it. And also those small things are things that make her happy. So if for you, like like family is important to you, your children, your husband, your mom, your parents, those are things that you know that I am working to be a blessing to my mother. I'm working to help this, to help children, to help those that are vulnerable, etc. If so, can you just put in the chat like just one personal value that drives you to make money? I would like to see it in the chat. One personal value that drives you to make money. For me, like I said, is family. And for some people, it's growth. Like you just want to invest in yourself. You want to go and do your master's. You want to go and do your PhD. You want to do a certification course in Oxford. You want to do something in Harvard. Like those are the things that drive you to make money so that you can afford those things. For some people, it's their faith. They want to give towards the work of God. They want to build churches. They want to build religious centers. They want to do different things. For some people, they want to help orphans. They want to pay for people to go to school. They want to help people that don't have. For some people, they just want to be secure. They don't want to live in a place where people will come and be disturbing them every time. They want to have so much money where they can live in a high, like in an urban area where they have security. So what are the things that drive you? So influence on spending. People often spend money based on what they value most. Understanding your value helps you make intentional spending decisions, avoid unnecessary expenses, and align your finances with your purpose and priorities. Let me see what's in the chat. Somebody said, okay, so eBay says family and less privilege. Hannah says my family first, then others. Ifoma says not a value, but I don't like embarrassment. I want to be able to do the things I want to do without asking anyone for money. I'm telling you, I like that sincerely. Sometimes to allow money to embarrass somebody can be very terrible. So yes, that's a very good point of view. So financial decision making, wisdom, timing, and discipline. Financial decision making, the process of making careful choices about earnings, about spending, about saving, investing, managing money responsibly. Wisdom, understanding the consequence and making informed choices instead of emotional decisions. So, like I said, when you think of the fact that I will retire at 60 and I'm going to live to 120, how do I want to spend now? Sorry, so that at one at 90, at 120, I still have money. Timing, knowing when to spend, knowing when to save, when to invest, and when to wait. Like I said, in your time of plenty, always save. because for some people they had so much money, maybe they had an accident or they had like a medical issue and they could not work again. So at that point, they are not able to earn as much as they used to. Or some people now, with the coming of artificial, artificial intelligence now has taken part of what they used to do. So they're not earning as much because they've not upskilled using like AI and all. So now, if it's that they had saved a lot at that time, they would have had what to use. But now they don't have such, and people are already transitioning to AI. So discipline, staying consistent with financial plans, and resisting unnecessary spending, even when tempted or pressured. For example, I'll just give an example. For example, my family now, there has been like a pressure, okay, pressure, oh, drive a fine car, drive a fine car. But for me, I'm like, my husband's parents had like I think maybe 2 cars or 3 cars, I don't know. And one was just parked. They were not using it. I'm like, instead of us to now carry like a huge chunk of money and go and buy a car, there is a free car that is parked, even though it's not beautiful and it's not like that kind of car that when you come down, you want everybody to see, right? But if we're able to use that car, we can decide to save that money and buy a land. And if we should buy a land in another 2 to 3 years, we have an investment and we can start building. But another person will be like, no, see, my mate is driving this car, my mate is driving that car. You now want to look like your mates, you want to look like them, then you go and buy a car, which is not bad. You understand? But now you now see that at the end, you are using the car, you are repairing the car, you are doing that, and then you do not have a property and you are getting old. You're already 40, 45, and you're still paying rent when there was something that you could use, but it was not as flamboyant as you want. Sholaja says independence, so her own values independence. Um, Remesa says, I want to be an independent woman and also to help family and orphans. Joy says, what inspires me to make money is my parents, my desire for personal growth, and the need to live comfortably. I want to be able to support myself and the people I care about without depending on anyone. I'm telling you, if you have money today, if you want to host a program, you can host your program, you can do what you want without having to beg for money and all. So building confidence in handling money independently. So building confidence, developing the knowledge, skills, and mindset needed to make sound financial decision without fear or confusion. The truth is that even for some people, you've actually made some money, but you don't even know how to be confident about the money you've made in investment and savings and all. Like you don't have that confidence. So for people that are like that, I would say it's good to study about money. Just listen to podcasts, listen to teachings and all on financial intelligence and all, and gradually you begin to see that okay, like for me now, I'm listening to things that have to do with trust, family savings, and all those things because I want to be able to protect things properly so that even when everything is done and I'm about to go and meet and I'm about to die, at least I know that I have things and I know how to pass it on. So confidence grows through learning. So if you're not confident about your finances and all, you can learn more about it, plan, and then practical experience too, because there are some things that books will not teach you. But when you now start engaging in all those financial interactions and you begin to understand it. So handling money independently, taking personal responsibility for budgeting. So some of us were just like, I'm not good with mathematics, so I'm not good with mathematics. Please come and help me count this money. Please come and help me save this money. And then because you are telling yourself that I'm not good with mathematics, I'm not good with budgeting, I'm not good with, you are giving it out to even people that may even be stealing from you. So we can practice budgeting, practice saving, practice investing, practice managing expenses wisely. Financial independence helps women to make informed choices, prepare for the future, and avoid unhealthy dependence on others. Okay, so stewardship, accountability, integrity with finance is very important. I'll just talk on integrity in finance. There's somebody that I know, like from a distance, and this guy had a business. And when he had that business, he somebody reached out to him, and the person said, "Can you help me with this money?" Like it was a huge sum of money, like hundreds of thousands of naira. And I was like, "Please help me hold this money. I would like to use it to do something." And after a while, he reached out to the man that, "Yes, I still have this money." The man told him, "I'm not interested in using the money now. You can use the money, and whenever I'm interested in it, I will let you know." Maybe so. I think the man left the hundreds of millions with him for years. He was able to start to scale his business, do everything with it, and he was keeping the guy's money. By the time the guy needed his money, he sent his money back to him. So that financial integrity is very important. There are some times that if I want to send money to some people, I cannot send to certain people. I can only send to another set of people because I know that those people, they use money well, they manage it, and they will be accountable for it. So if you want people to trust you when it comes to finances, make sure that you have that integrity, especially when it comes to money. So Remesa said, "Psychology of money helps me in making financial decisions." Thank you. I'm going to go to the next slide. The same value given to a different. Okay, yes. So what I was trying to talk about here is that in making money, I realized that if you want to make money from, let's say, your values and your skills, for example, you notice that you may have a skill. For example, maybe you are a photographer and you are snapping pictures for families and for children, maybe in Kubwa, right? Kubwa is in Abuja, and you are snapping pictures for people in Kubwa, and they are paying you. Maybe for one picture, you say, if I should edit your picture, it's 5,000 naira and all that. Somebody comes, they snap 3 pictures, you make 15,000 naira. Will it be the same as being the photographer of the president? It will not be the same. Or being the photographer in the UN, for example, you would be earning in USD, right? So you see that it is the same skill that you have, but because of the audience that you're delivering that skill to, the amount is different. So I would say that if you have a skill and you're using the skill for a particular set of people, you can start thinking, can I deliver this skill to to a higher audience? So if what you're doing now, you're selling to, or you have a product that you're selling to students, you can ask yourself, how can I start selling these products to maybe to businesses? How can I start selling this product to? So the audience that you are giving your service to matters a lot. And I would like us to think actively about what I've said, because I know what I'm saying. So financial intelligence as a married woman. So, and as a mother, right? So, as a married woman, it involves budgeting with your spouse. So, you must know that when you're married now, you're no longer just budgeting for yourself, you're now budgeting for your spouse, budgeting with your children in mind. You're planning with your spouse, you are managing household finances. You have to manage it wisely, because there are some, and people that are married handle these things differently. For some people, they have a joint account. For some people, they have independent accounts, but they have a project account. For some people, it's only the man that is funding it, and then the woman gets to spend her money herself. For some people, the man doesn't have the money, the woman is the one spending. So for married people, it may vary, but it's good to ensure that you are utilizing your monies or your inflow wisely. There's also making joint financial decisions and all that, especially when you're married. So it's good to have that financial intelligence, so that when you are discussing with your spouse, you can talk from an intelligent place. Because some people, what I notice is that men study widely. So since they study widely, that sometimes they'll be like, okay, don't worry, I already understand investment. I can do this investment for us. I already understand land. I will do the land, this thing. I already understand this. And we, because we are not studying wisely, we just make the money and then we give, oh, take, do it as you please. But if you have that financial intelligence, you can now say, um, what are the investment options that you have? These are the suggestions I have. People can now talk about it properly. So as a mother, you also have to think about how you can teach your children to have healthy money habits, planning for their needs, their future, balancing family priorities, making financial decisions that support long-term financial well-being as a parent, because sometimes emergencies can come up. I remember, I think it was some years ago, that my one of my children fell ill, really ill, and I'm telling you, we spent a lot of money that we did not plan for. So as a parent, you also need to just save for those type of things sometimes, but hopefully it never comes. um so here are some questions. I may not ask us to answer them now because of time, but if you can screen grab it, that will be fine. What financial habits in my daily life are currently helping my growth, and which ones may be limiting my financial progress? Do my spending decisions reflect my personal values, priorities, and long-term goals, or are they mostly influenced by my emotions, pressures, or comparisons? What steps can I take to improve my financial literacy and become more confident in managing money independently? Am I making financial decisions with wisdom, discipline, and long term thinking, or mainly based on immediate satisfaction and emotion? What practical changes can I begin to implement today to move closer to financial stability, stewardship, and eventually financial freedom? So I hope you were able to screen grab this. I'll move to the next slide. Financial stability. Financial stability is having a consistent and reliable financial situation where your income can meet your needs, cover your expenses, handle emergencies without constant stress. It includes budgeting wisely, saving regularly, avoiding unnecessary debt, and maintaining balance between spending and income. Financial stability creates peace of mind, security, and ability to plan for the future with confidence. So, like I was saying, for me now, I'm in a place where I'm thinking, how can I have, like I said, I live below my means. So I live below, like, even our house that we have been living in for some years, we did not even furnish, like, we did not furnish the house for like almost a year. Instead, we're just saving to do other things that we thought were going to be assets to us. We didn't beautify the house. Like, the house was plain. We just had like the basics that we needed for our house because we needed to save a lot of money to invest in other things. You understand? But some people, like, you just enter. You know that some people will rent a house. You are a tenant in the house. So then in that house that you are renting, you will now say, clear the roof. You will now put POP, change it by yourself. Tell them to put disco lights. You change the wall, change the chairs, change everything. And it's a rented house. There was a house that we went to go and see one time to see whether it was something that we could purchase or something like that. And somebody was saying that somebody went and rented the house, I think, and the person could not pay for the next year's rent, but the person had changed everything. Like, the person put all this chandelier, the person changed the house so much that when he could not now afford the house, he was so angry that he told them to destroy everything because he was so angry. But he has already spent all those amount on it. So there are some times that if you are thinking about financial stability, like, it's not everything that you just want to. You can cut down on your expenses, and that's what they call delayed gratification. You're thinking, okay, now I've been working in this place. Maybe you have a contract job and your contract job is for 2 years, and in that contract job they're paying you 1.5 million, and the contract job is for 2 years but they are paying you 1.5 million. Immediately you go, you buy hair. Before you know, you gather, you buy a car, you change, you just start changing, but you are forgetting that the contract is for 2 years. So now you now get to 3 months for the 2 years to expire. You are now panicking because you don't have savings. You don't know how to even continue your life again. But you had that 1.5 for 2 years every month, but you did not save. You would see people that would tell you that they were earning in foreign currency for years. And then somehow, with everything that happened, they lost their job and they do not have a house. And now they are thinking, they're like, oh my God, you will not believe I don't have a house. And now they are thinking of how to pay rent. But you were earning in foreign currency for 2 years or for 5 years. So we must think beyond so that we can uh, keep things in place. So creating and maintaining a personal or financial or a family budget, creating a budget, planning how your income will be allocated to your needs, your savings, your debt, your wants. Sorry, it helps you control your money instead of guessing where it goes. Maintaining a budget, regularly tracking your spending, reviewing your financial goals, adjusting your needs. It ensures discipline, preventing overspending, and keeping personal and family finances stable. Do you know that some people that you're competing with because they are wearing fine clothes, right? They are not really buying those clothes. So if somebody is the last born, because I have like some siblings, when my siblings come to my house, for example, they can head straight to my wardrobe. They will just start removing clothes. Oh, Julie, give me this one. Julie, give me that one. Julie, give me this one. So now they're now wearing clothes, or they say, ah, that your hair. I must take it. Oh, and then they've taken the hair, they've taken the bag, they've taken the shoe. Somebody else is seeing them wear that bag, wear that shoe, wear that dress, and then they're like, oh my God, see this girl is wearing this clothes. Me too, I must buy my own. But the truth is, she did not buy it. Or you're saying, oh, see this car that my friend is driving, I must drive it. He may have not bought that car. Or somebody has a sibling that is abroad and the person is always sending them designers 4 times a year. And the person is wearing foreign designers, and then you're now feeling bad that, this person is wearing, but people are not from the same family. So why stretch yourself that much? So I would go to the next slide, but before going to the next slide, I will read what is in the chat. So Ochinemi says, in a way, I think it's an integrity issue, and I find it hard to trust people like that, giving different prices to different people, especially those online vendors that end up saying DM me for price because they want to give different prices to different people. I don't know why I feel that way. Wow. Do you know that I have never thought about it, that online vendors say DM me so that they can give you different prices? I never thought about that. Deborah is saying, as parents, we ought to plan for unforeseen circumstances. This happened to someone I know after furnishing and renovating their rented apartment. The house got burnt and they lost everything. Forgive me, but I would say God forbid. Yeah, so it happens to some people like that. So creating a budget, maintaining a budget. Okay, I think I've talked about that. Building an emergency fund and preparing for unexpected situations. Emergency fund is very important. Like I said, money should be set aside specifically for unexpected situations like illness, job loss, urgent repairs. It acts as a financial safety net. For example, some people, they will be pregnant for 9 months, and when it's now time for them to give birth, you will not start calling everybody. Oh my God, my wife will soon give birth. My wife will soon give birth. Assist us, assist us. I'm like, my God. First of all, we did not pregnant your wife. Number two, you had 9 months. And usually when you are going for antenatal, they will be telling you, start buying your things, start buying your things. You had 9 months to buy your things. You had that 9 months to pay for where you give birth. And then you want to give birth, you now start calling people to help you. And you will be surprised. If they call you and you don't give them, they will not become your enemies. They will not be like, they say, me, I called you when my wife wanted to give birth. Or I called you when I wanted to give birth and you did not give me money. I'm like, Jesus, like, why are you angry with me? Like, you had 9 months. So please let us keep some things and try to reduce the entitlement sometimes. So building it, regularly saving a portion of your income consistently until you have enough to cover at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. Like I said, for me, most times I withdraw like half of what I have. So I don't do that, okay, percentage for this, percentage for this. I just do like half. If I take half, I just manage it with my family, and we just manage ourselves like that, because we don't want to finish everything one day. So preparation for unexpected situations, being financially ready, reduces your stress, prevents debt, and helps handle emergencies. You can imagine some people that were working in some very good organizations, and then with everything that happened last year and this year, they lost their jobs. And now they're in a place where they don't have that money coming in, and they did not plan for that situation. So please, let us plan for unexpected situations, right? Managing debt wisely and avoiding unhealthy borrowing. Borrowing only what you can repeat it. Sorry, borrowing only what you can repay comfortably. For example, even if you're borrowing people money, most times, even if somebody comes to me and say, please, can you borrow me this money? I may not borrow you the money if it's large. I may just give you something and say, this is what I can support with. Because sometimes people that are perpetual borrowers, when they borrow from you, they will not pay you back. So as an intelligent person, if you know that this person would most likely not pay me back, or if I start asking this person would find it hard to pay me, then you just say, okay, I may not be able to borrow you this amount. So, somebody can just reach out to you and say, please, can you borrow me 1 million? Huh? 1 million? Do you know that I remember growing up one time, there was a woman, this was years ago when money was very, I don't know. And this woman came and she met my mother and she asked my mother to borrow. I don't know what it was. Was it 2000, or I don't know how much she asked my mother to borrow her. My mother just went inside. I don't know if it was 20 naira or something she brought. She was like, I don't have that amount, but I can dash you this one. And that was just it. You understand? So, but I'll just like to advise us that for some people they borrow, like there was someone that I listened to, and she said that she wanted to celebrate her husband, right? So she borrowed money to throw party for her husband because she appreciates her husband. So you will now borrow money to tell your husband that you love him. You cannot use your mouth and say I love you. You cannot cook sweet soup that day and say I love you when we have money. I will say you now borrow to celebrate your husband. I don't understand. Or your children, they are doing their birthday. You want to celebrate, yes, but you don't have it. You now want to borrow to throw a party for your children. Why? Let the children know that I love you, but I may not be able to throw a party, but I can buy a cake. That's still better. That's you being realistic instead of borrowing to show what you are not. Olivia says, a question, please. Regarding savings, expenses, and investments, how can one create savings and have money for investments when one's income is only enough for bills at the moment? I try to trade and experiment, take risk the to to make extra cash. But lately, and for the first time, I have had more bills than cash flow. How do I please get back to being ahead? Any advice? Well, this is what I do. I live below my means, right? So what I mean by below my means is, let's assume now that you are making maybe 300,000 in a month. When you're going to withdraw that money now, this is how me I live my life for. I will withdraw 150. I will not withdraw the 300. I will withdraw 150. Then from that 150, I will pay my tithes, which is 30,000. The remaining amount, I will know how to share it. So instead of using Uber, I may use taxi. I may follow people that are going towards my direction for free ride and all. So I will just, then instead of buying food outside, I will cook instead because it's cheaper and all that. So those are some things. But I know that some people, they have like a fixed percentage of what they spend. Like once any money comes, there's a percentage. This percentage must go to savings. This percentage must go to investment. This percentage must go to miscellaneous. Like they just have that breakdown, and whatever happens, they handle it. So I remember when I and my husband were living in a rented apartment. Then when we got married, we were living in a one-bedroom flat. We had one parlor, one room, one kitchen, one toilet, just one. And then what we used to do is, for some people, they will wait until their rent want to expire. Then they will now start trying to gather money. But what we used to do that time is every month we'll send a little to the landlord. So we have 12 months, then we divide our rent into 12. Every month we'll send that, every month we send that, or we keep just that part, we keep that part. So at the end of the year, we just have that money, we pay it. But some people will wait, and then when the rent is over, they start trying to. So it's just to live below your means. You know that there was a time that the only hair I was making that time was my natural hair. Like I will make very neat all back, and then I would just attach attachment to the edge of the hair, and it will just come down like this. That was what I was making for a long time. Because at that time I didn't have enough money. So I was just very simple. I would just make simple, long. Some would just carry natural hair, they'll just do those natural twisting, they'll have where they'll style it. So they're not thinking of going to the salon every time. Some will even cut their hair for a period. So you have to be able to know how you can cut your expenses, because no matter what, like, expenses will continue increasing. So you must learn to delay gratification and cut expenses down. That's like the advice I have. Simisola says, I won't even tell such people that it's a gift or support from me. I will still act as if it's a loan. Most times they don't repay, and I won't ask for it. But the thing is, they can't come back to ask for loan again, knowing that they didn't pay the previous one. Yes, somebody did that to me. I think she reached out to me, this was years ago, and she was like, please, I need 20K or something like that. And she asked me to give her. You know, I gave her the money, and she never talked about it again. Like, we see ourselves, we greet, hey, how are you? How is everything? We greet ourselves. And she never mentions, oh, I know that you borrowed me this money or something. Or and sincerely, when I was giving her, I was not even expecting it back. But I thought that she would even say, oh, you gave me this money. See you, I couldn't give, but she never, up till today, she has never brought it up. And we see ourselves, we greet ourselves, and we hug. Please don't be that kind of person. Um, eBay says, what of a situation where your transportation is 60,000 from that 150? How will this work? Well, if you're earning 150 and your transportation is 60,000, then find people around your area, find people that go to that your office from your area, and be their friends and tell them, please, can I join you? Let's assume that you're living in Abuja and you are living in Kubwa and your office is in Maitama. You look for somebody that drives to town. So you'll be friendly to people around your area, and you know those that are going to town every day. Maybe there's somebody that has a car that goes to town every day. So you say, like, please, can I join you and be stopping at Beggar? The person says, okay. So you join the person to Beggar. That means you are just using taxi from Beggar to where you're going to in Mitama. That has already reduced what you're paying. Now, from your office, so you look for people in your office that used to go towards your area. So that will also reduce what you spend on transport. Then from this 150, assuming you pay tithes, that means your tithe is 15,000. You can decide that you will be saving 15,000 every month. So that means you're paying tithe of 15,000, you're saving 15,000. Then you now tell yourself that for you to buy things, you can look for people that used to go to all those Bush Tuesday markets. You know that there are some places in Abuja where they sell things cheap, maybe like Tuesday market. For example, for us, my mother-in-law goes to market, I think maybe every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and she goes to very like interior markets, all those markets where I don't know, Gwari women or something, like they sell like in bulk, maybe like tomatoes, all those inside Gwari places. Or so by the time she's buying all those things and she's coming, it's like, so now send her like, okay, please help us with this money to buy something, and then she will buy things that can last for a month. So you must not buy it from all these shops that are expensive. You can find out if like there's a market, like all those inside markets where they sell things cheap, you buy things. So with that, you're able to save. So that's what I think anyway. And then Ochinemi is saying sometimes trek to a particular distance and convince yourself it is daily exercise. Yes, some bills can't wait, and some, if you can't meet up. Yes, truly, yes. Some bills can wait, and some, if you can't meet up, they move. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for that advice. Sometimes trek. Thank you so much. So, managing debt wisely, borrowing only what you can repay. If you can live without borrowing, better. Understand repayment terms and prioritize timely payment to avoid penalties. Avoid unhealthy borrowing, staying away from unnecessary loans, high interest debt, borrowing for lifestyle wants. It involves discipline, planning, and ensuring debt supports productive needs rather than creative long-term financial uh, liabilities, pressures, and instability. Understanding needs versus wants. Needs are essential expenses like your food, your shelter, your clothing, your healthcare, education, non-negotiables. Wants are luxury things, non-essential items. So, for example, for me, all those going to buy things, if I really need to save money, I'll buy my things and cook it at home. You understand? Understanding the difference helps you to prioritize and avoid unnecessary expenses. Stay within your budget. So creating multiple streams of income for stability. Now, for some of us, like we already have maybe like a job that's paying us that 150, right? There are several things that you can think about. Okay, for example, now this is me. I already have my job, but I am doing this mentorship program on Sunday. So you can tell yourself, I have a job. My job is like a 9 to 5. I go to work Mondays to Fridays. But how can I use my Saturday and how can I use my Sundays? Okay, for my Saturdays, I would write a book, right? And I would start working towards becoming a public speaker, a paid public speaker. On Sundays, I would try something else that can bring money. So for some of us that even go to churches and all on Sundays, what stops you from selling something or going with products or just they're just things that you can think about. So having more than one source of income is very important, such as salaries, businesses, investment, freelancing, side projects. So write a book, start a webinar or a masterclass. Mm, do something with your weekends. You understand? Do something with your weekends that can make you more visible, open up opportunities to you, or bring in more money. Now, creating stability. When one income source slows down or stops, others can support you. Yes. So if you have other things you're doing, they can support you. This improves financial security, reduces risks. Have you noticed that some people, after they've worked in a place for a while, they now start working on themselves to become public figures, right? For example, let's say somebody like Madam Tara Drotoye, right? So she was running her business, but towards the tail end, when she knew that she was going to move from her business, what did she do? She started positioning herself as a public speaker. Now, by the time she did her succession planning and she was able to give her business to somebody else, now she's an international public speaker. She's now traveling around the world speaking. For some of those speaking events, they may pay her as much as 2 to 10 million. And this is something that even someone that is working may not get. So she's positioning herself as a public speaker. Now she's now a certified public speaker going around the world. Now she has released a book. That's another stream of income. And I'm sure that she's also a board member to several companies. So she'll be getting money as a board member, getting money during public speaking, getting money from her book, getting money from her company. So these are several things that people do as they anticipate retirement or they anticipate succession and all. So we have to start thinking strategically. So financial planning for single women, single, this is it. This is the time to really save and plan and all that. And by the time you're getting married, please get married to somebody that is good, that has good sense. And then if you're already married and you are getting properties, ensure that even as you are joining money with your spouse to buy those properties, you can buy the properties in both names so that you're not buying a property where your contribution is part of, but the property is in the name of your spouse. Something happens and you cannot access it and all that. So you have to think wisely. I've already talked about mothers and all. I'm going to move to the next slide. Managing finances during difficult seasons or transitions, times of reduced incomes, job loss, illness, relocation, divorce, unexpected finances. We must plan for those 4 seasons, maybe that may happen like that, but we hope that they don't. Adjusting your budget, cutting on non-essential expenses, prioritizing needs, and using savings or emergency. For some people, peradventure you had like an international job, right? And you were getting a lot of money. And now something happened and you don't have that job anymore. But you still want to maintain the lifestyle that you had before. No, that's not the right thing to do. You have to face reality and cut your expenses down. The importance of saving culture and consistency. Oh my God, there's a lot of, and the time is short. The importance of savings culture and consistency, the habit of regularly setting aside money before spending. It builds discipline and ensures that you prepare for needs and opportunities. Do you know that there's sometimes the opportunities will come up? Somebody, like, for example, now, my husband has been saying that in Nigeria, the election is going to happen next year. And if the election happens next year, that means people will sell properties for very ridiculous amounts. Now, how many of us are saving so that in 2027, when people start selling their properties for ridiculous amounts, we can buy them? So those are things that we can start thinking of, that, okay, something will happen, election will happen, people will sell properties. Am I in a position to buy? So we must start thinking about it. So when you consistently say, okay, I only take half of my salary, or I always save 15%, it gives you that consistency, gives you discipline, and it helps you because consistency compounds, and the money that you save, if you're not touching it, it will compound. Now, building systems and routines that support long-term stability, simple financial structures like budgeting, templates, saving plans, automatic transfers. Automatic transfers, like for those who are maybe in the civil service, you can authorize your bank to say, once this money comes in, every time it comes in, this amount should be going to a different account for saving. And then when it goes to that account, the money is not just sitting in that account. For example, if you want to that treasury bill, once it gets to maybe 1 million, I would put it into treasury bill. You understand? So those are things that you can think about. So regular routines such as weekly budget reviews, monthly financial planning, disciplined spending checks can help you. Okay, so these are some questions. Please screen grab them. I won't wait for your answers for the course of time, but you can answer them by yourself later. So, do I currently have a realistic budget and financial system that helps me manage my income, expenses, and savings effectively? How prepared am I for unexpected financial situations? And what steps can I take to strengthen my emergency fund and financial security? You know that there's sometimes that you see some celebrities, like maybe movie actors and all that, and after a while you hear that they are sick and then they are asking for funds. People will start, but this person was making so much money, why are they not able to? You understand? So we must try our best. While we're praying that evil will never come close to our dwelling, we must also prepare for some things. Just prepare. By God's grace, as nothing comes, we can spend it. So are my spending habits focused more on needs or wants? And how is this affecting blah, blah, blah? So what additional skills, opportunities, or income streams can I develop or work on? What financial routines or consistent habits do I need to build or improve? So let's screenshot this and hopefully we can listen. So I'm moving to the next slide. Wealth building for women. Wealth building, the process of creating, growing, and sustaining financial resources over time. The process of creating, growing, and sustaining financial resources over time through savings, investing, and smart financial decisions. So for women, it involves intentional income growth. That means even if you're working somewhere, you can tell yourself, how can I work in a place that pays me better? You know that there was somebody I was talking to, and this person works in the development space. And I noticed that the person will work in this place like for 2 years, move to another company, work for another 2 years, and move to another company, to another organization, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And as he's moving, he's getting higher positions. And I'm telling you, recently, like I sent him a message, I'm like, please, can you guide me on how you do this thing? Because for some people, and this thing happens mostly with men. They know how to be strategic and they know how to crisscross and pivot into higher roles. But for women, sometimes we say, am I not already earning this? Is it not even good? At least at all, na in bad pass. But if you can see people that are constantly getting promotions or moving into higher roles, you can chat them and ask them, how are you doing this? Please guide me. Nothing stops you from doing that. So wealth building empowers women with financial independence, security, and the ability to create generational impact while aligning money decisions with purpose and long-term growth. So there is something in the chat. I just want to read the chat and then I'll continue. Susan says, Ma, I would like to ask a question. As a student, what are some ways I can earn money apart from running a business or selling things? Business honestly is not, business honestly is not really my thing. At the moment, I am using most of my time to build my personal growth, okay? However, I am quite tired of depending on my parents financially, especially because I still need money for courses, paid events, and other opportunities that will help me grow. So I'll tell you, I would really appreciate your advice on what I can do to earn as a student while focusing on self-development. So I'll tell you my story. While I was a student, I did not do business like all this selling clothes, selling pants, selling perfume. No, I didn't do it. I had some friends that sold perfumes, undies, and all that. But me, what I did was I leveraged on my skill. So I was doing lots of ushering jobs. So I leveraged on my height. And when you're going for ushering jobs, usually they look for fine faces and people that are tall. So I used to go for ushering jobs. I went for ushering jobs throughout my university from 100 level to final year as a law student. When I was in law school, I was going for ushering jobs. And I remember that before writing MCQ exam, I went for an ushering job. And you will not believe, in that ushering job was the birthday party of one of the president's wife that was just called to bar. So they had a party for her. And I was an usher in that event. And because she was celebrating her call to bar, she had a table for law school lecturers. And coincidentally, I was assigned to the table for law school lecturers. And my exam was like a day or 2 or 3 days after that ushering job. So I was ushering the table of my lecturers while I was in law school, and I went for an ushering job. So I did that. I did ushering jobs. I did, so I can sing, right? So I did lots of backups. So for many of the music artists then, like the main music artists, then I used to do backups for them. So when they invite them to churches, then I will go and back up for them. They'll pay me. Or if they're singing in the studio, they would call backup singers, and then we'll go and we'll do backup and they'll pay us. So for me, that was how I made extra income, since I was not good with business, but I used like my talent to make extra income. So you can look at yourself. If there is a talent that you have, maybe you're a good writer, you can be a ghostwriter, or you're a good singer, you can be a professional backup, or you are beautiful, you can be an usher, you can do ushering jobs. There are other things, but these are the things that come to mind. So you can have like-minded people and trusted people to have monthly contribution. That monthly contribution is good, but you really need to ensure that they are trustworthy so that they don't take your money and japa, right? All right. So I'm going to go to the next slide, and I may not complete my slides because of the time. It's already 20 minutes too. So understanding the principles for wealth creation and sustainability. Wealth creation, the process of building money and assets through income, savings, investment, value creation. It requires discipline. Okay, yes. Sustainability, you are thinking, yes, even though I have the money now, how can I make sure that this money is sustainable, that it continues coming, and that I can, so it's by reinvesting and planning, right? And okay, I've said this. Learn about investments, the basics and all. Start early, invest consistently, diversify, but diversify in things that you understand your goals and all that. Then building assets instead of only acquiring liabilities. Like I said, you must ensure that what you're investing in are assets and not just like that story I gave of somebody who is in a rented apartment but has a very gigantic car, furnished the place, so it's furnished it like a hotel and it was a rented apartment. Why not put that money and start building? You understand? So understand what you're doing, diversify, and also review financial advice before jumping in. So this one, I'm going to say that be careful about taking investment advice from people who are financially weaker than you. So, for example, I'm going to give an example. There was a time when we first got married, I and my husband, we were able to save some amount. Somebody who was not even close to us financially now advised my husband that he should do MMM, which was multi-marketing, multi-level marketing or something like that. I don't even know what it is. So that was how he now said he was going to do it. Well, so I was telling him, I said, are you sure you want to do? The man said, don't worry. I know this thing, I can do it. This thing, it works, it works, it works. That's how we put our savings inside that thing. Do you know that that was how our money disappeared? To even tell you how this thing really affected us, we had saved some money and we were supposed to put that money in our bank account by the time it was mature, so that we will now go for our visa interview. And when they check our bank account, they will see that we have money to travel. But what now happened was the money that we now put, it now, I don't know, the money now disappeared. So we now went for the interview. Oh my God. When we went for this visa interview, the visa interview was going so well, and you will not believe the person that was conducting the interview went to the same school with my husband in the UK. So they were just vibing on, oh, you're an alumni of this university. Oh, I also went to this university, and they were just gelling. The only thing that spoiled it was when he now said, bring your proof of funds. We did not have the money. Why? Because we had invested in something that was a scam, and that was how he had to reject, after all the friendship and all the gelling, he had to reject our visa application. And like I told you in the beginning, as he rejected our visa application, we drove straight to a restaurant. We ordered food. We ordered different foods just to quench the sadness. We ordered plantain, beans, rice, food that did not make sense. We just ordered and we were just eating and laughing at ourselves, and we were angry too, but it was just a very, I don't know. So don't take advice from people that are in a weaker financial position than you. Why does it matter? Financial advice should come from knowledge, experience, or expertise, not just opinions and assumptions. But professional exception is it is appropriate to receive guidance from licensed or experienced investment consultants, regardless of their personal financial status, because their advice is based on training and expertise. So sometimes you may meet an expert who you are financially better than, but they understand the market, because so that's a professional advice. But if it's just maybe someone in your church, your neighbor, and all that, that you know that you are financially better than, I would advise to just leave that advice. So building assets, understand assets and liabilities. Focus on acquiring more assets than liabilities. I'm sure we already know the difference. Entrepreneurship and creating value-based income. I'm sure we understand all this one. So I'm going to move. Protecting your wealth through proper planning and informed decision. Protect your wealth, proper planning, take informed decisions. Make financial choices based on knowledge, research, and advice rather than emotions, ensuring long-term security and stability. As a woman, sometimes your husband may want you to invest in something that you know will not work. If it's something that is safe, he wants you to invest in, fine. But if you know that this thing is not safe, for example, now multi-level marketing, your husband now says, bring the savings, you can gently but firmly say, no, this is the investment. There was a man that decided to go into politics, and he spent all their investment in politics. He sold all their houses for politics. When it got to the last house that they were living in, the wife held the papers. She said, I've been patient, I've been submissive, and you sold all the houses, but this one that you are living in, you will not sell it. And he did not sell that one. I don't even think he got the position, but at the end, he has spent everything that they had invested. So please don't be in that place where you're like, okay, I'm submissive, and then everything that you work for is now gone. So networking, mentorship opportunities that increase financial growth, like build meaningful relationships. You'll be surprised, like when you're in a very good circle, opportunities will be coming in that circle that can elevate your life. Learn from experienced individuals, access jobs, partnerships, investment, business ideas that come through relationships and learning to, generational wealth and legacy building. There's sometimes that people may just feel that, oh, I'm a woman, I will just hire my husband will know. You as a woman, you have the right to also think about generational wealth. You have the right to think about your children. You have the right to think about what will those after me, you have the right to say, I want to pass on something to those coming after me. You have the right to think that way. So please think about it. Legacy building. When you are building, don't just build and eat everything. Think about, okay, even if I'm not here, can this business continue? So key idea is it involves intentional planning today to ensure that stability, opportunity, and prosperity comes even after you are gone. The importance of financial documentation, contract, and protection. Some of us have started businesses with people. We did not write any agreements. They spent everything, and we lost at the end. Or maybe you did not sign your IP well. Everything you did, the ownership went to somebody else and all that, or you didn't sign an agreement. So even before you sign agreements, you pass documents. And even in buying lands, I've seen people that have gone ahead to buy lands, and those lands were fake. Before you buy a land, make sure you do proper search before you put your whole investment into buying a land. Any kind of investment you want to do your research properly and then sign your contract. Don't say we are friends. If I say we should sign contract, would they not think that I don't trust them? No, it's because I trust you. That's why I want us to sign an agreement. So wealth building, the intentional process of creating and growing your financial resources. You must understand the purpose, the why behind why you want to do it, the impact. Let your building wealth not just be for you. Let it be that you're also thinking of others coming after you. So these are some questions. What financial decisions am I making today that are helping me build long-term, that are helping me build? Am I consistently saving, investing, developing income opportunities? What knowledge, mentorship, or networks do I need to access to improve my finances? How well am I protecting my finances through proper planning, documentation, etc.? What kind of financial legacy, impact, or generational wealth do I want to build? And nobody is too young for that. So you can screen grab this and think about it. So if you have any question, please put it in the chat. Let's answer questions now. While I wait for your questions, I want to see if there's anything that's, so if you want to document, our advice, instead of documenting your finances in a paper, you can use Google Sheets, you can use Excel documents and put it to your Google and all that, so that anytime and in any place you find yourself, you can always access those documents. And there are some tools too, and all those apps for savings, you can read about them and use them. For financial mistakes that women commonly make: living beyond your income, failing to save or invest, emotional spending, depending completely on others for finances, avoiding financial education, neglecting proper planning and documentation. So how can you avoid it? Create budgets, save consistently, learn financial skills, make informed decisions, seek professional guidance when needed, and develop disciplined spending and investment habits that support long-term stability. Please put your questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand if you want to ask a question. You can raise your hand or put your question in the chat and I'll answer it. So we are rounding up. We must also learn negotiation. This can be helpful in negotiating your salary at work or negotiating with your clients. Negotiating terms, prices, partnerships, and all that, it will help you. So you can listen to courses on negotiation. You must also build confidence. I remember that there was a girl that I spoke to in my 100 level, and then she used to sell lands even as a university student. She used to sell lands, and she was telling me then, she said, you have to be comfortable in calling large numbers, like millions, billions, this one, you understand? So practice it. Practice your money confidence, right? balance your generosity. Even though you like giving, like I told you, I liked saving to give out, but I had to change that. I had to save and invest. Watch your generosity, even your responsibilities. You must also watch it. You must not take up everything. Sometimes saying no, I can't afford it, right? So, Inumidum, please, you can unmute and ask your question.
Good
Inumidum,
evening, Ma.
good evening. Please go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Ma. Although I joined late, but I've been able to grasp a lot. So I have a question about stocks.
Okay.
Like, I really want to know what they are about. I've heard of buying shares, stock, exchange, and all of that, but I really want to know what it is about as a student because I only save my money in Cowrywise, which
Mhm.
adds a little interest as it's the more time I keep it there, the more the interest is. So, and I've seen um other things about stock to an investment on Cowrywise, but I
Mhm.
really don't know about it.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So, I am not an expert in stocks and I cannot really speak to stocks because I'm not an expert, but I know that they are like public, there are some public and there are some private. And then if you want to, so it's just like when like there's a company, for example, and then they say shareholders in the company and then they like give out shares and then you pay for equity in that company. And then when some companies become public, they also now make it open and say, okay, now the public can come and buy shares or stocks and whatever, and then people come, but they're experts in this. What I would advise you is please send me an email and then I can link you to someone who is an investment advisor and you can ask him questions. He should be able to give you concrete advice on that. But I would say that understand, like, even if you want to, because I've also done like some studies on stock and everything, but for me, I don't even really understand it, but I do like treasury bills or something like that. Yes, that's for that particular one, it's like a like there are also government bonds and all those things. So for me, that is a bit stable. So for that one, if you have like a million plus, you can do that one, and then they give you about between 15 to 17%. They give it to you upfront, and then you can decide to reinvest it or you can decide to take it out. So it depends on this thing. But I'll just say study things properly before you put your money in it because you don't want to put it and then you lose it. But if you really want to understand stocks and all these things and you need a professional, please send me an email and then I'll speak to him and tell him that I will send some people his way so that he can explain it better. And I think there was a program that I attended that it explained stocks and shares. And I think I have the the Zoom video and all that. So if it's something you want, you can just send that email. I will look for it and I will send it to you so you can watch it and it explains stock. So that's what I will say. Thank you. Do we have any more questions?
Thank you so much, Ma.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any more questions? Okay. So if we don't have any more questions, I just want to say thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for staying. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want us to take a picture before we go, please put your cameras on and we'll take a picture. But if you do not want to take a picture, it's also fine. So I will just say that as an announcement, the physical program, it's not really a special, it's just for us to see ourselves physically. If you're interested in that, it's in the link, it's in the email that we usually send, and you can register for it. So if you're in Abuja in October, you can be part of it. Please register. I would love to see you physically, and I would love us to have a nice time. Hello, Justina. It's been ages. Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you? Let me hear your voice. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, ma. I was
How
in
is
law school, that's why.
you said?
I said I was in law school. That's why. That's why. Law
Oh,
school has been a
all
whole
the
lot.
best to all the best, all the best. I wish you all the best.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you so much. It's so
Amen.
good to
Thank you,
see your
ma.
face. Thank you for joining.
So good to see your face too. Thank you so much, ma.
You. So, somebody raised their hand. I think Simisola. Do you want to speak? If anybody wants to speak, please just unmute and speak. We have about 4 minutes. Does anybody have any question?
Okay, what I wanted to share, I actually sent it.
Oh my God, I didn't know it was you, Honorable Justice.
I actually sent it to the chat,
Kima.
and I was making a suggestion of one of the means that I save.
Yes, ma'am.
I have like-minded people that are trusted, and
Yes,
then we contribute. We call it those contribution, and
yes, ma'am.
so in a year we have it, so it's just a suggestion. If you have like-minded people that you can trust, you just find out how much is affordable for you to contribute, and it has really helped because I know that in a year we have the opportunity of getting it twice. And the thing is, you still have to be disciplined about it, because there's no point in contributing and then just not knowing what you're doing with it, because it's a huge sum. I always look forward to it. So what do I want to do with it, so that I will know that, okay, when I got all my contribution, this is one thing that I did with it. So that might be another area in which you can be disciplined in your savings, and at least you know that you are committed to another person. And by the time you are collecting your own, you have a fixed thing that you have in mind to do with it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Ma. Because I was even checking to even see if like you're here, but I wasn't sure. Oh, I'm so grateful. So please, everybody, please just clap. The person that just spoke is an honorable justice of the National Industrial Court in Nigeria. Oh. So please just clap for her. We're so happy that you're here, and thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you so much. We're so privileged to have you. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So for every other person, do we have any contribution? Do we have anything we want to share before we leave? If we don't, I just want to say thank you. I've had such a nice time talking. I can talk for 2 hours, only me, and I just call myself a quiet person. I'm so happy that you joined. Thank you so much. Have a lovely time. Please post if you can and tag me. I would love to hear your take on the class today. Secondly, please, I'm going to send an email which would have testimonial and recommendation form. I read those testimonials and I read the recommendation so that what we're doing can improve. And I hope you had a nice time. And I look forward to seeing you all. If you are a good planner of events, because I don't really know how to plan events, but if you know how to plan events, I know somebody reached out to me and we even chatted. Thank you so much for chatting and all. Thank you. If you know how to plan events, please just private chat me so that we can plan the October events together, just for us to hang out and all. So with that, we've come to the end and we're right on time, 2 hours on the dot. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely week. Bye.